Hello, everyone, and welcome to ESYFL's 2025 Championship Show. I'm Mark Lloyd alongside Coach David Rivette and Coach Drew Slutsky. And guys, it's Championship Week. We look forward to it all year. It all comes down to this. But how we got here, last week we had 64 teams in the conference championship. Now we're down to 32, 16 games that will take place over the course of 2 days. Should be a great weekend.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. The talent that is left at this time is just incredible. In these games, these coaches are well prepared. These kids are well prepared. They've scouted each other. They're watching film. They're ready. They're ready to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, before we get to that, I wanted to touch base on what happened this past Saturday. We had a number of our teams that got to play at the Swamp in Gainesville.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like they really enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. Our staff enjoyed it. Once-in-a-lifetime experience for the kids to play there.
I've seen the footage of everything. It's just, one, it's great to see that size of a kid in the big Swamp Stadium, right? And just seeing them run down, you can see the excitement on their faces. That's really great that you guys put that together. Before we get to the matchups now, any surprises? Any teams that you go, wow, you know, just based on what we've seen, they really caught fire, and now here they are in the big show.
There's definitely a few that come to mind. There's some that you kind of expected to be there. Mm-hmm. And there was a couple upsets, you know, so to say, where somebody thought, you know, this team for sure is going to be there. And at the conference championship, there was definitely some surprises, and it leads us to where we are now. And I definitely think the right teams are in there, and they'll be ready.
All right, guys, let's get to it, right? What's the matchups?
All right, so we have a full slate of games on Saturday and a full slate of games on Sunday. So Saturday, April 26th, the 8 a.m. game is the 10U D2 Volusia Blue Raiders versus the Pearson Wildcats.
Yeah, Coach G, he was there last year. The Volusia Raiders, Coach Carter, you know, they're a new team to our organization, but they are not a new team to 8-on-8 football. This is going to be a really good game.
Yeah, that's for sure. So two players to look at there for Volusia Blue is Caden Johnson and Aiden Williams. They'll be ready to lead that Volusia Raiders team. And then on the Pearson side, you have Brennan Haas, who's no surprise, and Navon Hyatt. These young men will be ready to play.
Yes, sir. That's going to lead to our second game. That's going to be the 6U Orlando Outlaws versus the Dover Patriots. Coach Chris Cromie will have his boys ready at the 6U. They're going to be behind Trenton Ware, Marlo Green, and Jeremiah Ramirez. I love watching those 6U kids play. That's where it all starts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a team that was actually the Patriots and the Outlaws were actually both just up in Gainesville. Got to play some other teams in even a team from another league. So they had a good time up there. But the Outlaws will be ready as well, Drew, with Chosen Gilliard, number 1. Marquise Johnson, aka Nugget. If he gets the corner, he's gone. Chase Brookings, the tight end, number 3, and Carter Blocker. That's a heck of a football name. Carter Blocker, number 6.
That is, if I had that name,
I love that name.
Yeah.
Yep. That leads us to our next game, which is the 10:40 game on Saturday, the 10U D1 Fleming Island Dreadnoughts versus the Volusia Raiders Silver. And that 10U Dreadnoughts team was kind of deemed or coined. The phrase was said, they're the no-name team by somebody recently to me, and I thought about that. And as the season got on, they continue to get a lot better, and I think they're ready for the moment. They're playing the Volusia Raiders Silver team, who is no stranger to big games, and they are led by Jordan White and Cameron Butler. That's going to be a heck of a matchup.
It is. Coach Baker will have those boys ready to go.
Yep, and you got Trip Kenny and Mike Kenny on the other side. Two staffs that are not fazed by being in the big game.
Next, we're going to go to our 11U matchup in D2. That's going to be the Down South Ballers, led by President David Watson. I just wanted to take a moment and give a shout out to Dave. He's getting an award on Sunday for the Businessman of the Year for Community Service down in Miami. They're going to be playing the West Coast Underdogs, led by Matt Harrington. There's a couple of kids to look out for there, Dave.
Yeah. So let's start with the Down South Ballers. You have number 11, Dylan Thompson. If that kid's special to watch. And then you have number 5, Aiden Bridgman. He's their Swiss Army knife. This is a kid who can do anything. And don't count out the West Coast Underdogs. This team is battle tested. They've played all the top D1 teams. They played the
I like what you said. Don't count out the West Coast underdogs. How apropos. I like that. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but go on. I love that.
It speaks for itself because they have played the top teams. They played the Boynton Beach Bulldogs, who was the 3 seed. They played the Orlando Outlaws and the Volusia Raiders, who are the 1 and the 2 seed in the D1 championship. So these boys, Bryson Frey, Andrew Suarez, and a few of the other boys on that team, like they're going to come ready to play. Yep. So that's going to be a great game. And I know David Watson on the other side will have them prepared. He always watches film. He's always ready. He's no stranger to big games either. So that's going to be a good game to watch.
Yep. Next, we're going to go 13U D2. It's going to be Josh Beeman and the Brendan Broncos against Forey Osborne and the Inbound Warriors. Inbound Warriors, they've got a lineman over there, Pat Arscott. This kid is a dog in the trenches.
Yeah.
I mean, he is. And they got Kenny Washington on defense, who I believe had 2 or 3 pick sixes in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Another one to mention on that team would be Jaden Dionisi, the running back. So between him, Arscott, and Kenny Washington, they'll definitely keep the Broncos' hands full. Coach Beeman on the other side, he's no stranger to big games either. He has Tyler Arias and Eric Linderos. Those guys will be ready. Coach Forey Osborne on the other side from the Inbound Warriors, they'll be ready as well. That's another big game. Should be a fun one.
Yeah, it'll be great. Now, before we get to our 12U D1 game, Dave, do you want to talk about our special award that we're going to be giving out?
Yeah, so at 2:30, we're giving out our second annual Sandy Beckett Spirit of the Community Award. This award could not have gone to a better person this season. We're very excited to present this award on Saturday.
We're going to go to our 12U D1 matchup, and this is going to be a battle. We're going to have the Volusia Silver Raiders. They're led by Coach Medlock, and they're going to be playing the 12U Palm Beach Rams with Coach Wallace. I think this is going to be a battle. This may be one of the battles of the day. I mean, these boys, they play tough.
Just evenly matched, you're saying, when you look at both offensive and defensively?
Yeah, it'll be a hard-hitting game. On that Raiders side, you have Cameron Jassy, Cameron Martin. That's 2 players that I would definitely look out for. And for that Palm Beach Rams, George Sturgis and Amari Thurlogene. These young men are ready to play. Once you get to that 12U level, it's kind of it looks almost like high school football. These boys are big, strong boys. They're moving. They're ready to rock.
The game after that, both these programs are new to ESYFL. We've got the 14U D2 matchup between Coach Murphy and the 386 Rebels, and they're going to be playing the Bvard Ducks with Coach Frazier. These are 2 teams that just came to us this year.
Wow. In the championship game. Wow.
Yeah. This is kind of like home games for several teams, too. Some of the games we mentioned earlier, the first one of the day, that Volusia Raiders Blue, 10U versus Pearson Wildcats. Those are 2 Volusia County teams. This is another one at the 14U level. The 386 Rebels is a local team, so is the Bvard Ducks. Some players to watch in that Bvard Ducks is number 24, Easton, number 4, Tyquez. And then with the 386 Rebels, number 1, Nico Murphy, and number 5, Xavier Johnson. Again, at this 14U level, it's fast, it's furious, it's hard-hitting football. These boys are ready to play. 2 similar type offenses. The Bvard Ducks is straightforward. They let you know they're coming at you. It's can you stop them? So it's definitely fun to watch.
We know those teams.
Yeah, they're great to watch. And that's going to lead us to the last game of the day on day 1. This is going to be probably one of the best games of the whole weekend. It's our D1 11U. It's the Orlando Outlaws and Coach Richie Claremont against the 11U Volusia Raiders and Coach Fuller. And I mean, last week, Dave and I were on the field. The Orlando Outlaws went to overtime against Boynton. What a game.
Yeah, that was definitely fun to watch. It was an 8-6 final in overtime. It was a KC tiebreaker. This game is going to be really fun to watch because it's really hard to beat a good team twice. And these 2 teams have met earlier in the season. I believe it was week 1 or week 2 up in Volusia. I actually got to see that game. And the Raiders moved the ball on the Outlaws. And there was a couple picks in that game. But Coach Fuller will be ready. He's got some guys over there on his side, in Josiah Hall, the quarterback, Prince Corey Schillings, the receiver, Cameron Kaczynski, Andrew Bailey Barnett. Those boys will be ready. On the other side, the Outlaws, they're no stranger to the big game. Coach Claremont will have them ready as well. On that defensive side, you have Jordan Eccles, Zion Cates, Gavin Kawasi, Willie Sharon. And on offense, Willie Kitchens, Armani Gonzalez, Caden Jones, Eli Schroer, and then the quarterback, Arturo Powell. All these young men understand the assignment. to me, this game is going to come down to mistake-free football. Whoever has the least mistakes will win this game.
That evenly matched.
Oh,
Wow.
this is going to be an incredible game.
Dave, I just hear the sound of the horns when we say Orlando Outlaws. I mean, they start from 200 yards away and they start sounding these horns to let you know that they're coming.
Yeah.
I just hear it. Luckily, that's the last game of the day, so I'll be able to go home and let my head rest. That's going to lead us to day 2. We're going to start the morning out, D18U. It's going to be the Orlando Ravens with Coach Jones against 8U Poinciana with Coach Coleman. The Orlando Ravens, Coach Jones, I know him and Miss Kayla will have those boys ready, as well as Coach Coleman in Poinciana. I've seen him scouting lots of times during the season when they weren't playing. He was just out there watching them play.
Yeah, to get to the state championship last week in the conference, they had a walk-off touchdown pass, deep pass for a touchdown. It was walk-off to win the game.
There's several walk-offs.
Yeah, it was
I mean,
incredible.
Wow.
That's going to lead us to D212U. We've got Skill University, which is another local team. Coach Keith Duhart and Miss Michelle against 12U Dover with Coach Sears and Coach Staggs. Dover's no stranger to state championships. They had 7 teams going into the conference championships. This is one of the 2 that survived. This will be another battle at 12U.
Yeah, you got the Dover Patriots, who's no stranger to big games. They have a team in it every year. Some players to watch there is Julian Knighton, Terry Sermons, and then on the overside with Coach Duhart in them and Michelle over at Skill, you have Kenny McCraney, Jordan Harvey. This is another game that should come down to whoever plays the most mistake-free football. And then at 10:30, we have the ESYFL pendant giveaway. So Coach Drew and I, we flew up to New York City this year, and we commissioned Tracks NYC to build a pendant that we wanted to just give away. So it's a gold pendant with real diamonds. It's our spring logo. And what we did was we found our biggest followers on social media. We found the top 10. We're going to bring them out. We're going to do a raffle. We're going to give away a 3rd place, 2nd place, and then a grand prize. Give away the pendant.
Ah, that's really cool.
This is for the Elite Spring Youth Football League. I appreciate the business straight out of the Diamond District in New York. Whoever's going to get this is the man.
Yeah, that was a fun trip that we went up there to get the pendant. The pendant's valued at over $5,000, and we're just going to give it away to our biggest follower, whoever wins. That's going to lead us to our D28U state championship game. It's going to be the Hobestown Ravens, who are no stranger to 8-on-8 football. They're going to be traveling up to play the Daytona Sharks, who's a new team in our organization. Coach Barrett with Hobestown will have those kids ready, and I'm sure Coach Morgan will have them ready over in Daytona.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've got a chance to see both of these teams play. 2 really good teams at the 8U level. Somebody to look forward on the Daytona Sharks is number 4, Van Morgan, and number 12, Messiah Mosley. And on the other side for the Hobestown Ravens, Cole Camaro, number 13, and Dylan Barrett, number 16. These young men are hitters. They're ready to play. It'll be fun to watch these young guys.
You know, I wanted to ask you guys, we talked about momentum. You both have been there coaching championship teams, okay? Is the momentum the same for these age groups as it is that you hear about in the NFL or college football? You know, like they have all the momentum going into it. It's going to be hard to blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Is it the same even at this age level? Because kids are still kids.
Yeah, even at the younger levels, it's still very intense. It's still, you still feel all those emotions.
And last thing, and I'll let you guys move, but the challenge to keep them focused though, you know, because at this age level, they have so many other things going on. How do they just love the game, or is it techniques you guys have?
It's a great question, especially at the 6 and 8-year-old level. But I can tell you this, once you get to this point in the season, they're locked in, they're ready. Yeah, they're ready.
Some of these 6U and 8U teams look like they're running a high school offense.
Okay.
It's the craziest thing to ever see. The beginning of the season, not so much, but when you get to this point, they're like little machines out there. That's going to lead us to our D26U state championship game, which is the Hobestown Ravens with Coach Zill against 6U Boynton with Coach Chuck. This should be a great matchup. Both these teams had off last weekend in the conference game, so they've had a couple of weeks off, but I think they'll be good to go.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny, there's another Camaro brother on this one, again, number 13, Cooper Camaro. He's a player to watch for Hobestown Ravens, and number 51, Lane Zill. A couple more players, number 29, Elijah Castaneda, number 33, Tyler Murray. That's on the Hobe Sound Ravens side. And on the other side there, for Boynton Beach Bulldogs, Devontae Robinson, number 4, and Devon Self. These are players to really watch. These kids will definitely make an impact in this game.
Speaking of momentum, these two teams I'm about to announce for the D215U, they both kind of had slow starts to the season, and they gained momentum as it went on.
Absolutely.
That's going to be the 15U Okeechobee Brahmas, led by Coach Marcel. This team has 10 or 11 kids on it, and the defense is unbelievable on this team. And they're going to be playing the Orlando Outlaws, led by Coach Edwards, who I believe will have his boys ready to play. This is going to be a great game.
That's great coaching, right?
Yeah.
I mean, from what you said, started off slow, but continue to get better and better.
Yeah, so Okeechobee, some players to watch there is Armani Jenkins, Otis Jackson, Kanias Thompson. And with the Orlando Outlaws, their quarterback, of course, number 7, T.O. Edwards. Coach Keith Edwards will have his boys ready to rock. It's going to be, I hate to keep saying this, but this game could come down to the most mistake-free football, the fewest turnovers, the fewest penalties, because both sides will be ready to go here, Okeechobee and Orlando Outlaws.
But I think when you get to this level, it's the championship game. Lots of times, that's what it does come down to.
Correct.
You know what I mean? They're pretty evenly matched. It's not 30-point spread or anything like that.
Yeah.
So you're right. Comes down to coaching and execution, I would assume.
Absolutely.
Correct. And these two teams that I'm going to announce next for the D115U, both these games came down to the last few minutes last week. That's the 15U Apex Elite, led by Coach Corey Cash, and the 15U 386 Ducks, led by Coach Deshaun Boswell. Both these teams last minute of the game last week.
It's going to be a really fun one to watch. That Apex Elite team, some players to look at: Jonah Hodges, Austin Taylor, Tyler Watson. And over on that 386 Duck side, you have Aiden Lewis, Tron Ledbetter, Aries Wright, like Coach said, led by Coach Deshaun, and then Coach Corey Cash of Apex. Both rosters are littered with athletes. Both rosters are coached very well. So this is going to be a really fun one to watch.
Hence, they're in the championship.
Correct.
Now, this second to the last game of the day, D13U, it's a rematch of last year's conference championship. It's the Drip Boys with Coach Jam, and they're going to be playing Coach Andrew with the Bay Area Ducks. These are two heavy hitters. This is going to be a dogfight out there. Probably one of the most physical games of the day.
Absolutely, definitely one of the most physical games. Had a chance to see several of the Drip Boys games. Didn't get a chance to see as many as the Bay Area Duck games, as Drew was on the West Coast quite a bit. But for the Bvard Drip Boys, Coach Jam wants this. He wants this, to say the least. His son, Tyrese Jefferson, is arguably the best player on the field at any given time, a.k.a. T-Smoke. Did a player spotlight on him. Amazing athlete. Daniel Rosado, Aiden Dixon, they're going to be ready. And on the other side, the Bay Area Ducks, you have number 8, Raheem Rivers, very mobile, athletic quarterback. You have number 12, Marcus Holloway, number 99, Andrew Westry. I can name 3 or 4 more kids from each team, but both of these teams are just full of athletes on each side, offense and defense, and they're going to come to play. This is going to be a physical football game.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Now, the last game of the weekend, I feel like this is a special game. This is going to be our 14U D1 state championship. It's a rematch from 13U last year. It's the Apex Elite with Coach Corey against Fleming Island with Coach Mike Kenny. This is going to be a strategic game. These may be 2 of the best coaches that I've seen coach.
Yeah, so let's start with the Apex side. You have Coach Corey Cash. Some players to watch there is defensive end, Aiden Blakely, number 6, and Andrew Dolan, the running back, number 5. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention their center.
Whoa! Shout out to an offensive lineman. Okay, go on.
Yeah, so Jacob Mandersons, he calls all the blocking assignments from the line. This kid is he's a leader. That team really relies on him. He's a special player. Yep.
Drew, you're a former offensive line. I mean, how hard is that?
He's 14.
Yeah, I know. That's
He's
what I'm
14.
saying.
I wish I had him at the high school level.
Holy cow.
Yep. So the other side of the ball, again, like Coach Drew said, this was a rematch last year. And you have the Fleming Island Dreadnoughts. You have Coach Michael Kenny. He's another coach that is very well prepared. He's probably watching film right now while we're filming this. A player to watch there is their quarterback, Grayson Critch. He has the arms and the legs to change the game. Both. He's mobile as well. They're hoping to get their defensive captain, Blake Mullinex, back. He's missed a couple games. They've fought through some adversity through the playoffs without several of their key players. So they're excited to see what things could look like if they're potentially fully staffed. That's always exciting, you know.
Absolutely.
But this is just going to be an incredible game. Two phenomenal coaches in Coach Corey Cash and Coach Michael Kenny. All of their staff is bought into the programs. These are two powerhouse programs that know each other very well. Like Coach Drew said, they played each other last year in the state championship, and both sides will be ready to go.
So guys, let everybody know the details. When do things get started on Saturday, the location and everything like that?
It gets started at 8 a.m. at Daytona Beach Stadium Saturday morning. The gates will be open at 7 a.m. for anyone that wants to come. We will take cash at the gate. We do have hometown ticketing if you don't plan to use cash. That information's on our website that you can pre-buy your tickets.
And then Sunday?
Yeah, so same thing. We have 8 games both days. They start at 8 a.m. and the last game's in at 5:20. So it's a full slate of game both days. They both have 8 games, 16 total games. You guys want to see some good football, come on out and watch.
That's right. It's championship weekend, right?
Yes. If I can mention 2 more things.
Yes.
If you want to get a photo package done, Big Hits Live is our official photo vendor for the event. And we were lucky enough, D-Max is going to be giving our MVPs a little bit of a swag bag for being the MVP of the state
Oh,
championship.
wow. That's fantastic. So we're going to crown 16 teams champions, right? 16 teams champions. But like the infomercials say sometimes, wait, there's more. Because it doesn't end, because next week it's more festivity with the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, so that's a very exciting thing for us. We are up at the Jacksonville Jaguars indoor facility, which they call the Flex Field, and it will be north versus south at every age level from 6 up to 15. So we'll have 8 Pro Bowl games happening on May 3rd up in Jacksonville.
Oh, very cool.
It's going to be some great football. Some of the teams have been practicing, getting ready for the Pro Bowl. It's going to be good football.
Wow, that's great. Well, guys, that's going to do it for our championship preview show. What a weekend it's going to be. I'm Mark Lloyd. That's Coach David Rivette, Coach Drew Slutsky. We'll see you next time.